I greet you in Jesus' precious name. It is Wednesday morning. It's the 27th of September, 2023. And this is your friend, Angus Buchan, with a thought for the day. We start off in the Old Testament in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10 and verse 8. He who digs a pit will fall into it. And then we go to Psalm 7 and verse 15. He made a pit and dug it out and has fallen into the ditch which he made. We need to be very careful how we walk in this life and how we live. You know, revenge might sound sweet at the time, but it can end up being very costly. You can actually fall into the very hole that you're digging for someone else to fall into. Be careful that pit does not catch you out yourself. Remember the story of Queen Esther and Haman? Remember, Haman was determined to annihilate the Jewish nation. You can read in Esther chapter 9 and verse 25, but it ended up that Queen Esther went to the king because she was Jewish, told him the story, and he wrote out papers for Haman to be hung on the very gallows that he had built to annihilate the Jewish people. Do not bite off your nose to spite your face, as the saying goes. You know, I want to tell you a very sad story that happened many years ago. There were a couple who decided they wanted to get divorced, which is so sad. God hates divorce. But instead of doing it out of court in an amiable way, settling their goods and separating what the one had and then the other, they decided to go to court. They went to the lawyers. They got them involved. You see, they wanted revenge on each other. And eventually, they lost their property, they lost their home, they lost their money, and they walked away with nothing but bitterness in their hearts. Don't do that. Don't dig that pit, because you'll fall into it yourself. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 25, Jesus says, sort out your differences before you go to court, lest the judge end up sending you to jail. Please, folks, let retribution, let revenge be sorted out by the Lord. The Lord is fair. He will not let people go away unjudged. You say, but Angus, it's not fair. There's a lot of things in this life that are not fair. But remember, the end has not come yet. Jesus is the ultimate judge. God bless you and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.